Rewriting your story, why it's never too late to begin again. Have you ever stood at the edge of a major life decision, heart pounding, palm sweaty, wondering if you're about to make the biggest mistake of your life? That paralyzing moment when you're caught between the comfort of what you know and the vast unknown of what could be. I recently had the profound privilege of interviewing Genesis Romney, a visionary whose work has transformed the landscape of personal reinvention for thousands of women across three continents. Her revolutionary approach to life transitions has created ripples of change that continue to expand, touching lives in ways that defy measurement. What Genesis shared wasn't just inspirational platitudes, it was a roadmap for anyone standing at their own personal crossroads, wondering if they have what it takes to begin again. The truth is, we're conditioned to believe that life follows a linear path. Graduate by 22, career by 25, marriage by 30, kids shortly after, then coast until retirement. But that's not how real life unfolds, is it? Real life is messy, unpredictable, full of detours and U turns that no one prepared us for. And here's what Genesis Romney taught me: those detours aren't failures, they're opportunities for reinvention. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, it's too late for me to fill in the blank, too late to change careers, too late to go back to school, too late to leave that relationship, too late to move to a new country, too late to pursue that dream that's been whispering to you for years? But what if it's not? What if the most beautiful chapters of your story haven't even been written yet? During our conversation, Genesis emphasized three powerful truths that I want to share with you today. First, it is never, and I mean never, too late to start over. Second, fear of the present should never block your vision of the future. And third, your journey, especially when shared authentically, has the power to inspire countless others. Let me introduce you to Lisa Godwin. Lisa didn't plan to uproot her entire life. She didn't wake up one morning in Jamaica thinking, today seems like a good day to leave everything familiar behind and move to New York City as a single mother with two young children. But that's exactly what she did. Imagine this for a moment. You're standing at JFK Airport. Your children's hands are clutched in yours. Everything you own is packed into three suitcases. The sounds are different, the smells are unfamiliar. Even the air feels foreign against your skin. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a voice whispers, what have you done? The challenges Lisa faced were monumental. Cultural adjustment, learning to navigate a city where the pace made her island home seem like it operated in slow motion. Financial instability, watching her savings dwindle while searching for work that would recognize her skills. Raising children without her established support network. No grandparents to call when a child fell sick on a workday. No trusted neighbors to help with last minute childcare. Every day was a battle against uncertainty. Every night was a wrestling match with doubt. But Lisa refused to let those challenges define her story. Instead, she leveraged community programs for immigrants. She worked multiple jobs during the day and attended computer science classes at night. Let that sink in for a moment. Multiple jobs, night classes, two children, no established support system. Within 5 years, just 5 years, Lisa launched her own tech consulting firm. Today, she's not just surviving, she's thriving as a role model for Black women in STEM fields. She secured contracts with Fortune 500 companies and received recognition from the NYC Women Entrepreneurs Network for her innovation in technology training programs targeting minority youth. When I heard Lisa's story through Genesis, I couldn't help but wonder how many of us limit our futures because we're too afraid to leave our comfort zones? How many dreams remain unrealized because we convince ourselves it's too late or too hard or not practical? The second story Genesis shared was equally powerful. Dr. Yetunde Odugbeson Omaid moved from Nigeria to New Jersey as a young mother. Like Lisa, she faced seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Academic systems unfamiliar with her international credentials, the challenge of pursuing higher education without extended family support, the daily juggling act of motherhood and academic rigor. There were nights when Dr. Odugbesan Omaid studied until dawn only to wake an hour later to prepare her children for school. There were moments when the weight of her ambition felt too heavy to bear, times when she questioned whether the sacrifice was worth it. But Dr. Odugbe Sanomede refused to let fear dictate her future. She sought out local organizations supporting immigrant families. She built networks among fellow students. She utilized online platforms for professional development resources tailored toward Black women leaders. The result? She earned a PhD while raising two children alone. Today, she serves as a professor at Stony Brook University, specializing in leadership studies focused on underrepresented communities. She founded the Young Woman Leadership Project, which empowers girls across Africa and America through scholarships and mentorships. Her relocation wasn't just about necessity, better opportunities, but vision, creating generational change. And then there's Deshauna Barber, former Miss USA. As Genesis explained, Deshauna grew up in a military family, relocating frequently during her formative years. With each move came the familiar struggle, self doubt, worry about fitting into new environments, fear that she couldn't achieve her dreams outside familiar circles. But instead of letting those fears control her, Deshauna embraced discomfort. She entered pageants later than most of her peers, proving it's never too late, and used her public speaking platform to advocate for mental health awareness among Black women veterans. At just 17, she became the youngest woman commissioned as an Army Reserve commander before winning Miss USA at 26, a testament that career pivots are possible at any age. Today, she runs the nonprofit Service Women's Action Network and speaks nationwide, encouraging marginalized women never to let present anxieties hinder their future ambitions. These stories that Genesis Romney shared aren't just inspiring anecdotes, they're evidence. Evidence that starting over isn't just possible, it's often the catalyst for our greatest achievements. But let's be honest, starting over is terrifying. When you stand at the precipice of change, looking down at the unknown below, every instinct screams to step back, to retreat to safety. I love how Genesis put it. Courage isn't about not being afraid, it's about moving forward in spite of fear. That's the secret, isn't it? The women in these stories weren't fearless. They were afraid and did it anyway. They felt the fear and refused to let it be the author of their stories. And here's something else Genesis emphasized that I found profoundly important: representation matters. Seeing someone who looks like you overcome adversity makes dreams feel more attainable. When Black women share their authentic stories, struggles and triumphs alike, they empower other women to believe in their own potential. Think about it. When Lisa Godwin mentors immigrant women interested in tech careers, she's not just sharing knowledge, she's showing them what's possible. When Dr. Odugbison stands in front of her university classroom, she's not just teaching leadership theory, she's embodying what leadership looks like for her students. When Deshauna Barber speaks to audiences nationwide, she's not just delivering a speech, she's expanding the imagination of every woman listening. This is the ripple effect of courage. One woman's bravery becomes permission for another woman to be brave. One woman's reinvention becomes inspiration for another woman's transformation. So, what does this mean for you? What would Genesis Romney want you to take away from these stories? First, recognize that the timeline you've been measuring yourself against is arbitrary. Society's milestones are not universal laws. Your life unfolds on its own schedule, and it's never too late to change direction. Second, understand that fear is not a stop sign, it's a normal, natural response to the unknown. Feel it, acknowledge it, then move forward anyway. Third, know that your journey, especially the messy, complicated, nonlinear parts, has value. Your struggles and your triumphs are not just for you, they're medicine for someone else. As Genesis would say, you deserve joy and transformation, even if it means stepping away from everything comfortable today, so tomorrow shines brighter than ever imagined. I want to leave you with this thought. What if the most courageous act you could perform isn't scaling a mountain or jumping out of an airplane? What if the most courageous act is simply beginning again? What if courage looks like enrolling in that class at 45, or starting that business at 52, or moving to that new city at 38, or leaving that relationship at 60? Your story isn't written in permanent ink, it's written in pencil with an eraser always at the ready. You can cross out chapters, you can add new ones, you can rewrite entire sections. Today, I challenge you to identify just one thing, one small thing you've been putting off because you believed it was too late. Then take one concrete step toward it, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because the clock on your dreams isn't determined by your age, your circumstances, or your past. It's determined by your willingness to begin. The women in these stories weren't extraordinary because they were fearless. They were extraordinary because they refused to let fear have the final word. They chose to believe that their futures could be bigger than their pasts. And so can you. Your most beautiful beginning might be waiting just on the other side of your biggest fear. The only question is, are you brave enough to begin again? Thank you.